we did it! We hit 100,000 subscribers. What's up, guys? Dr. Greg here, back with another episode of Braces Explained, and a huge thank you to all of you guys who have made this channel so successful. I can't thank you guys enough. Like, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. And I'm actually gonna make a video where we unbox that play button when it comes in. But that'll be for a totally different video. But again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that have gone down, liked these videos, subscribed to the channel, all those awesome things. And just because I hit 100,000 doesn't mean I'm gonna stop, but I'm actually gonna speed up and make more content for you guys. So if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe so you get more and more content about braces journey, and all that fun stuff. What we're gonna be talking about in today's video is something that's a little bit different than the other ones. And we're going to talk about not when your orthodontist straightens your teeth, but when your orthodontist adjusts the shape and size of your teeth. So let's go. What's up, guys? Dr. Greg here, back with another episode of Braces Explained. And again, huge thank you to all of you guys that helped us grow this channel to 100,000 subscribers. It's absolutely crazy. Never thought it was going to happen. So next stop is 1 million. Let's do it. But like I said, in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 different scenarios on when your orthodontist might shape or reshape or work with your general dentist to change the shape or size of your teeth. And if you guys are on your braces journey, thinking about getting started or are coming to the end, be sure to download my ebook. It has a bunch of useful content in there about how to prepare for the braces journey, how to get started, what to expect during it. So check it out if you haven't yet already. I'm gonna put the link out in this corner as well as in the description of today's video. So let's dive right into it. There's 3 different ways that your orthodontist or general dentist can change the shape or size of your teeth. And the circumstances when these are used is if we need to change the shape of the lower teeth or the upper teeth. Circumstances when we have to, change the shape or the size of the teeth is if we've had worn incisors where we have to kind of level them out and make them look better. If we have a tooth size discrepancy, so let's say the upper teeth are small compared to the lower teeth, well, then we have 2 different things we can do. We can either make the upper teeth larger or the lower teeth smaller, which is one of the things we're going to talk about in today's video. Or if your upper and lower teeth are a little bit too proclined and we want to tuck them back a little bit so they don't stick out as much, that's another scenario when we might have to reshape or resize the teeth. But today's video isn't about the reasons as to why we do this so much as to the ways that your orthodontist can reshape or resize these teeth. So the first way that your orthodontist reshapes teeth is by doing something called enameloplasty. And I'm sure you've seen these crazy TikTok trends where people try to do this on themselves, which is a terrible idea. But enameloplasty is when we work on the outermost layer of the tooth, which is called the enamel. And the enamel is the protective layer of the tooth. So when we do the enameloplasty, and the second thing that we're going to talk about in today's video, we want to be mindful to not take away too much enamel. This is because if we take away the enamel and we expose the next layer, which is the dentin, you can have sensitivity, cavities can progress faster. It's not our ideal goal. We don't want to take away too much enamel. But briefly put, what enameloplasty is leveling off the edges of the teeth that are a little bit worn or chipped away or things like that to make it so that they're flat and straight and they look aesthetic. But the side effect of doing too much of this is that you can get sensitivity, and you can also make it so that you expose that dentin, which can cause pain and accelerated cavity progression, okay? Now, not a lot of cavities occur on the incisal edges, which is the edges of the teeth, but it is still something that can occur. So sometimes you might have a patient that has too big of a chip on these teeth. So if you have too big of a chip, your orthodontist can't just level it out, because then we're gonna have to shave down a bunch of other teeth to make them match that worn down tooth, which is not ideal and can lead to those things I previously talked about. So what do we do in that case? Well, we're going to talk about that in the third way we change the shape and size of teeth, so stay tuned for that. But if there's a little bit of an uneven edge, your orthodontist can go through with a high speed and we can kind of level out those edges and make it so your teeth are smoother and more aesthetic when you're at the end of your treatment. This isn't something that we do too early on because we want to make sure that the teeth are nice and level and everything's in the right spot before we go ahead and do this. Most of the time, this shouldn't be that painful at all. You might experience a little bit of sensitivity, but most of the time that goes away as the enamel strengthens and the dentin strengthens and things like that. So let's move on to the second way that your orthodontist can reshape the size of your teeth, and that's by something called IPR or interproximal reduction. Now, as the name implies, what we're doing is we're going interproximal, so the in-between surface of the teeth. We're gonna go ahead and polish away a little bit of enamel between the teeth to reshape fan-shaped incisors. So if these incisors look like triangles, right, and you have a little bit of a black triangle on the gum side of your teeth, well, what we can do in those cases is we can do IPR and file between those incisors and bring them closer together. Because if you're gonna put 2 triangular teeth together, it's gonna show a little bit of a black triangle on the bottom. But if we file it away just a little bit and make them a little more rectangular, when we bring them together, the teeth will look more aesthetic and you won't have those black triangles which look like space on the gum side of your teeth. Again, your orthodontist has to be mindful when we do this. So we always look at how much enamel we have and try to be mindful and not take away too much enamel to prevent, again, cavity formation or sensitivity. Because like I said, cavities don't generally occur on the incisal edge, but they do occur in between the teeth. So we want to maintain as much of that protective layer as we can. But if we take away a little bit, I'm talking like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 millimeters, it's totally okay. We have more than enough enamel for that. You just don't want to go too crazy with it. And your orthodontist can look at your specific case and know how much is appropriate for you. So moving on to the third way that we can reshape or resize teeth, and this is to work with your general dentist. In certain circumstances, we might have to make teeth larger, and that's something that your orthodontist most of the time doesn't do, but your general dentist does because it's something that they do every single day. One of the most common circumstances when you might have to have your general dentist and orthodontist work together in this case is if you have a chipped tooth like we talked about earlier, or if you have teeth that are a little bit undersized, and that's generally your lateral incisors, which are these guys. Lateral incisors are the most common undersized tooth in the mouth. So if you have lateral incisors that are a little bit too small, it's going to throw off your whole case because basically all your upper teeth and lower teeth, there's a ratio that makes it so that they fit together properly. And if your upper teeth are smaller than your lower teeth, well, now you have a jar that's a little bit too small for the lid. Other way around, you have a lid that's a little bit too small for the jar, so you can't get a good bite as well as all the spaces closed. So in cases like this, what your orthodontist will do is make room for those lateral incisors and have you go back to your general dentist. Your general dentist can then use something like a veneer or put a filling on the tooth to make it the right size and make it so that your case is finished in the most ideal bite, overbite, overjet, no crowding or spacing. Another circumstance when your orthodontist might work with the general dentist is to build up a chipped tooth. Like I said earlier, if it's a small little wear on a tooth, your orthodontist can level that out, no problem. But if it's a little bit too big of a chip, right, we don't want to level out all the teeth to the level of that chipped tooth because we're taking away a ton of tooth structure for a thing that we can build back using a general dentist's help. So if you have a tooth that's really chipped, your orthodontist might make it so everything else looks straight, the gum margins are good, and then we'll refer you back to your general dentist so that they can either put a build-up or a filling, something to make that tooth the right size and shape. Pretty cool stuff, right? If you guys have teeth that are undersized or need to have IPR or enameloplasty or anything like that, let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions that I didn't address in today's video, again, leave them down in the comments and I will make sure to make a video to address those concerns. If you guys enjoyed today's video, go down there and destroy the thumbs up button as well as hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with more content like this. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to keep smiling and I will catch you guys on another episode of Braces Explained. But for now, Dr. Greg out.